Righto guys, back here this morning. As you can see, Mighty Purple's off the hoist, which is a good start. So the boys obviously had a pretty busy night and got it sorted. And here we are, ready to go on the dyno this morning. So another thing I only thought of last night, which I think I'd forgot to and neglected to mention in this video previously, is that things like this, like dry hiring our dyno or letting someone else tune their car, is not something we do. So before anyone comes and asks us about it, it is not something that we do normally. Stuart's, we've known him for a very long time, we trust him. You know, there's a mutual beneficial relationship going on here where we're going to learn a little bit more about EFI Live and stuff like that, but don't come and ask me about dry hiring the dyno or coming and tuning your own car, because it's not going to happen. So just thought I would make sure that that was known before I get bombarded with messages about people who want to have a go at tuning their own car. Anyway, have a quick bite to eat, bit of brekkie. So as you can see, it's a lovely foggy Sunday morning. So apologies to our neighbours, but unfortunately things just go the way they go sometimes. We generally are pretty good with our neighbours. We're very empathetic. We always only operate within a certain time frame and try and keep noise to a minimum outside of that time frame. So it's not all bad. It just is what it is on every now and then, things like this. But I'll get some footage of it doing a few runs before I head to lunch. Alrighty guys, so we're working through a few things. With the new VZ PCM, having a few issues with things like cam signal and a few other things.
Yeah, we got it to start and run last night, but it's not happy.
Not stoked.
Doesn't like starting.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we're having a bit of trouble, because it's Gen 4, as Stuart explained at the start of the video, we're using the front cam sensor in the front plate like a Gen 4 would, but just using the LS2 early style trigger with one trigger, so that it will run the LS1 PCM, no worries. So one of these cam sensors. So just yeah, having a bit of trouble working through that stuff. The boys are working through that. Also having a bit of trouble with the gearbox.
Not with the gearbox, just error codes. It's just come up with all sorts of weird codes.
Codes related to the gearbox, being 480.
One of them for some reason is the trans range, so that's like basically the park, reverse, neutral. Not so much the lockout, but just it tells
position.
It tells it what position it's in. And it's cracking it about that, saying that it's out of range.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what was rattling. It was the bumper. Yeah.
This is recording, Max, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
So here we are.
Just a quick update before we get it on the dyno. So we've sorted out these stupid error codes. It won't do the crank race relearn because of some TPS issues, and basically we're at the point now where Stuart here has just said, you know what? Send it anyway. So that's what we're doing. We did find an old Perish fuel line under the back here that lifts to the surge, so we've fixed a fuel leak there. We're just doing a final check on the oils, and that's it. It's going on the dyno, and we're just going to see what it does. So stay tuned. All right, quick update. We've got the car on the dyno. We've just started to do some steady state stuff, which is a little bit smoky. I don't know what's going on there. It seems to be blowing a bit out the exhaust. I mean, you saw us, we thrashed the thing back together, so we'll just see how it goes. But engine sounds good, stuff like that. We just ran into an issue with it killed a fuel pump fuse for some reason. Killed the fuel pump, so we're just sorting that out. And Stuart's on the phone with his mate, because we're using EFI Live, so I don't mind the tuning, but the software is very unfamiliar to me, and there's something going on with the logger. The logger is not logging our air fuel ratios through Stuart's onboard wideband properly. So he's just trying to sort that out. If he can't get it sorted in the next few minutes, we're just going to push through it anyway, and we'll just tune like we normally do and just run off the dyno. It is about 3 o'clock on Sunday. We are running out of time very quickly, so not going to bother with any cruise tuning. Stuart can sort that out. It's looking pretty good already. So he can sort that stuff out later. We're just going to concentrate on getting done what we need to do on the dyno while we're here. So we'll get stuck into it, and hopefully we can get this sorted this afternoon.
Hijack the camera here, guys, and Rex is just making a few changes for me on the tune. We've got a bit of oil and stuff still burning off this thing, but it'll keep doing it for a while. Stole your camera.
Hey?
I stole your camera.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be good. Max will be happy.
Yeah.
I'm a bit busy.
What's that?
I'm a bit busy.
Bit busy, but still in there. Do we know what the base boost is yet?
No, I saw 13.8 that time.
Right.
So, creeping there.
That's alright.
Hopefully it tops out there.
Look, as long as it's under 20 as the base boost, we
Alright guys, it's afternoon. I'm back here briefly. The boys are still just working on some steady state stuff, about to get into doing some power runs. So
We're hoping close.
hoping pretty close to doing some power runs. So I'm just in time to maybe catch a few power runs before I head back home. Anyway, it's been a huge weekend nonetheless for these two boys. It's been a stellar effort by them. Alright guys, I thought I'd just pop out here to quickly say a few things to you. Hopefully you can hear me, but you will notice probably all the oil underneath the engine bay of the car. What that is actually like a pinhole in the oil return that's in the timing cover for the turbo drain. Rex actually tried to weld it up a bit more yesterday while it was off the engine. Put a little bit more bead on there, but it's still leaking. So it's one of those things that always looks worse than it is, particularly oil leaks on the dyno where the fan's blowing the oil back and blowing it all over everything. Makes it look horrific, but it's not actually that bad. So obviously once the tune's finished off, Stuart's just gonna probably put a bit of sealant around that bung for the return and try and just get it to stop leaking as best we can. But the other thing I should add as well is after the engine went back in, they made a new turbo feed line out of complete 200 series braid. So it's got a complete new 200 series braided AN4 feed line now. No more of that push lock rubbish for things like that. Anyway, Stuart said he put the camera in Rex's face before, so I don't know if Rex might have already explained his, but bit of a learning curve. Rex learning EFI Live. We've never used it before. We use HP tuners, so it's just been a pretty long process of not only getting the car sorted, but pretty much a crash course for Rex 3 EFI Live. Obviously I missed something, but Rex is tuning it, Stuart's not, so I don't know what the go is there, but he is. So Stuart's also going to leave us some EFI Live stuff so we can have a bit of a play around. Apparently Rex saw some things that he liked and stuff, so it's always interesting. It's always good learning stuff, something new, always good learning new stuff, new software, new ways to do things. You know, there's always room to improve. I'm assuming there must be a few things on EFL Live that are better than HP tuners, from what Stuart and Rex have said. And obviously there's a few things that are a lot better with HP tuners, things like real-time tuning. So always good to explore other options and sort of work out what's the best way to go, because just because you've been doing something the same way for a long time doesn't always mean it's the best way to do it. Righto guys, so we're just having a few fuel pressure issues. Boys are chasing some fuel pressure issues at the moment. Current consensus is that it may be a failed lift pump, just the way it's behaving, but regardless it's got fuel pressure issues. So they're going to change that. It's about all I've got time for. I'm going to head home, hang out with the fam Sunday night, so I'm going to leave the boys at it again, and I'm sure if they get to some power runs they'll film some for you. Anyway, if not, I'm sure we'll see the HQ back here sometime very soon, but that's what we're rolling with at the moment. The other possibility is that it's boiling the fuel is another thing. The way it's acting, the way that Rex can get a little bit of steady state in and it's fine, and then it starts to just drop off and then go all over the place. It could either be, we think, yeah, lift pump not working properly and it draining the surge and then running out of fuel in the surge, or cooking the fuel after a few runs to the point where it's boiling the fuel and we're having an issue with regulating the pressure. So anyway, I'm sure the boys will figure it out, and like I said, if they do, you'll see some runs. If not, you'll see it back here soon.
So we're just throwing a couple extra degrees in it, see how that goes. But at the moment it's loving it. Every time we put it in there, it just keeps jumping in the horsepower. And we're just got to do 2 runs though. One to get some temperature in it because it's such a big housing on a little motor, and then the second one gives us the power. There we go. We went lean. Try again.
Alright, here we go. I'm not sure how much you can actually see in the dark here. It is, yeah, it's about 7:45 now on a Sunday night, so this is going to be our last ride. Just thought I'd give you a quick update. Stuart's been filming some of the runs, so here we are with our setup. It's too hard using EFI Live, trying to do, I won't go into the long version of what we're trying to do here, but it's actually worked out better for me to use our tuning software, HP, as a scanner for when we're doing runs, and just use Stuart's EFI Live to flash the tunes back in and do that. So because it's late at night, we're pretty much at the point now, as you can see, our last run there, if I can work out how to zoom.
The last one's the red one.
There we go. So we've we've gone 477. That last run was 483 on less boost, which is because we started throwing timing in. As some of you might be aware, as we put timing in, the exhaust gas heat is going to drop a bit because it was quite retarded, which is why we get a bit more efficiency. So we're making more power, less boost. Unfortunately, we're just running out of time. This is only on gate pressure. So this is going to be our last 2 runs for this time, and then Stuart will come back eventually and we will finish it off and actually lean on this thing a little bit harder. So here we go for the last couple of runs. I'll bring you along for the ride. Hey Stewie.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Alright, so I'm doing my best to film this. As you can see, there's a lot going on. We've got an onboard wideband here. I've got 2 laptops going, so I'm going to do my best while I run the dyno, and we'll try and keep this thing under control. So this is the main reason that I really want to use HP, is being in auto and PCM control, we really want to hold this thing in 3rd gear, which is what I'm doing here. We use the scanner to actually command 3rd so that we'll not try to change back to 2nd at the start of our run. So this is why we got the whole double laptop set up. So we're ready to rock and roll.
Probably should just mention, as you spin the camera around, that 0 and 1 PSI oil pressure is not what really is going on.
I don't think you can even see it. Yeah, don't worry about that oil pressure situation. Jesus, it seems. Yeah, don't worry about that oil pressure situation. That is not a good reflection of reality. All right, let's do this. Okay, so we've had a bit of a go to try and sort out this lean issue. Yeah, but it's getting that late at night. Stewie's having a go at me because we're a bit of a backyard operation and our neighbours are going to be really upset. It's very quiet Sunday night except for us, so it's pretty much bang on 8 o'clock. This is going to be it, whatever happens in these next 2 runs. So yep. Let's get it. Oh, you dog! Black flattery! Damn it!
Damn it!
Of course it happened now.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, this idiot is plugged in, so let's friggin', this is it. We'll try again.
Now this is the last one.
Yeah, this is actually the last one. This is the last 2 runs, period. I'm just hoping we can get these 2 in without the cops showing up, so. Our scanner, because it's HP, has completely shit itself. Alright, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. Sorry if the camera's pointing in funny directions. I'm trying to do a fair bit all at once, so here we go. Sorry, we're not going to go just yet. Get Stuart to turn the fan on. Do my bidding, slave monkey. Okay, now for about the 5th time, this is the actual last one. We made negative 0.8 horsepower on that run. Let's get it, see if we can improve on that. Here we go. Still going lean. Okay, I've said it like 4 times now that was the last run, but it did lean out again on that run, and it's bothering me. So I am going to flash this one last time. I've just thrown a heap of fuel at the whole map. I just want this thing to be safe for Stuart to take on the HQ run. And while he's gone, he can sort of revisit the fuel system and make sure that it's up to scratch. Though he's been watching the fuel pressure, I'm not convinced that it is actually a fuel pressure or fuel supply issue. He's just doing some some funny stuff with the tune where it's coming through the maps and stuff. I don't know. We just don't have the time to keep looking at it. We need to get this thing finished and just get Stuart loaded up so he can get back to his home and to his family, and we'll try again when he's got a little bit more time and we're not so rushed. So I'll try one more time, like one last time. That's it.
It'll be the last time soon.
The last time at some point. Yeah.
Sometime tonight.
The last time.
Sometime tonight.
Yeah. Full John Farnham spec.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right, like the last time. This is it. Bang bang. We'll use our special features here because I'm a special guy. And third gear. So we hold our gear. Away we go. Now that we've got some heat in the turbo, we'll do one more run as our actual baseline. Ready to go. That's been more like it. 489. So here we are. That last run was our 489. We did see this 498. That was that blue boy there. This is on gauge pressure, so not power. But basically, that 498 was this fella here, which is it made more power because it leaned out. But I aborted that run because we're up in here and we're up here, and those two are not good. So. It did respond to those changes I made. The fuel now is what I would say is a little bit on the rich side, but I'm happy just to leave it like that. We are flat out of time. It's after 8 o'clock on a Sunday. I can't believe that we aren't already being yelled at. So we're just going to leave it at that. I'm pretty happy for Stuart to take this to his HQ run, and we'll just see how it goes. He can sort out this horrendous, horrific oil leak.
Looks bad.
Don't know if you can see it on the camera. Oh, it's just disgusting. Hang on. I'll grab a torch because you wouldn't bloody believe it, that all of that oil is all coming from a tiny little pinhole in his the turbo drain here, where the fitting's actually welded into the timing cover. There is a tiny pinhole, just some porosity in the cover that didn't quite get sorted out, and it's just, that's where all that oil's coming from. And I tried to fix it actually the other day when we were rebuilding this engine. I tried so many times to fix it, and every time I put the welder to it, it'd fix one hole and the porosity would bring out another. And I even ultra blacked the backside thinking that should stop it, and obviously that didn't work. So Stuart's gonna fix that up. And that's where we're pretty much going to leave it for now. So we can't wait for this thing to come back. So it's going to fix up a couple of things on it. And when it comes back, we'll try and get this one here, manifold gauge pressure. We'd like to see that somewhere up here.
Look, all in all, I think we've done well considering it came here with a broken engine.
Yeah, well, we had to push it inside a couple of days ago. So. Yep. You know,
so it's Friday night to Sunday night, we've turned around and rebuilt the motor and got it back in the car and actually done some tuning on it to a point where it's respectable baseline.
And that's just on gate. I didn't even bother trying to get any more boost in it. We just sent it. Point of interest, as you might be able to see here, is what you might notice a trend here is that the earlier runs, which is actually these ones, at higher boost. And what you found, we've talked about this before, about energy and exhaust gases. For the same duty cycle, this is a wastegate spring, so there's no duty cycle at all on the controller. This is when we started putting timing in. We had our fuel fairly sorted, and we started putting timing in, and as you can see, power's going up, the booster's dropping off. And what that comes down to is that because it was actually quite retarded before, Max has touched on it a few times, there's a lot of heat and energy in the exhaust gas, which is driving the turbo a lot harder. So as we're putting timing in, the engine's actually a lot happier. Exhaust gas temps are coming down, which is actually taking away a bit of energy to drive the turbo, even though the engine itself is actually a lot happier and is making more power. So that's actually, it's sort of a good sign, and I believe that's what's happening, where every time we make these runs, it was starting to go leaner. It's just because it was coming through a different point in the map. Stuart's been keeping an eye on the fuel pressure. Fuel pressure's been constant. I think that's fine. So spiel over. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash like, smash subscribe. We will keep you updated when this stock 253 comes back again. Probably, maybe painted.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully. Before
maybe.
I'm hoping to paint it.
Yeah, maybe painted and sorted out. So we'll see you on the next one. Catch you later. Bye.
Righto guys, so back here this morning. Rex is absolutely dead. I can't even get him out of bed. He's out of it. He's had a huge weekend. So stellar effort from the boys. It was a huge weekend. It was a huge achievement to get that thing to where it ended up. I don't know how much Rex explained because I haven't gone through all of the footage yet, but essentially what we were having problems with when I left yesterday was fuel getting too hot. Part of the reason for that was that Stuart's exhaust was pointed. It's not finished. He's only built it back to about the diff, and it's pretty much pointing straight at the fuel tank. So after a few hours of steady state and just that exhaust gas heating the tank up, as well as having the pumps running, etc., it just got the fuel that hot that it started to boil, and that's why we were having the fuel pressure issues. So they had to do quite a bit of cooling down before going into runs to make sure the fuel was cool enough that it wasn't going to cause problems. So they had to just try and work around that essentially and keep on allowing it to cool down, which is why it sort of took such a long time to get it to where it was. So still in the dyno after 8 o'clock last night on a Sunday night, so a huge sorry to our neighbours, very big apologies. Again, it's not a regular thing. I stood out in the back veranda at one point last night because Rex sent me a message, and yeah, you could hear it clear as day from where we live, which is like probably a good 5k away as the crow flies sort of thing. So it was pretty loud, not obnoxious from over there. It just sounded like someone was given a V8 a boot full up the road here or something. So, but yeah, apologies to the neighbours, but that's pretty much the HQ for now. Going on the HQ run, and it'll be back after the HQ run with a finished exhaust and a few things finished off, ready to wind some boost into it and see how much we can make. So anyway guys, that's it for the HQ for now. Look forward to seeing it back. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget we've got some new merch out. We're running a new giveaway for these 2 months. These next 2 months we're running a giveaway Pulsar GDX Gen 2 Turbo. So don't forget to go buy yourself some merch or buy them parts you've been meaning to buy for ages. Go into the draw to win yourself a Pulsar GDX Gen 2. Win the frame and housing size of the winner's choice. If you're considering buying merch, maybe consider being a channel member. If you pay for a boosted level channel membership, you get a 10% merch discount code. So if you're going to buy enough merch through the year, it's probably worth your while. Not to mention with that, you get heaps of other perks. You get automatic 3 entries into the giveaway every month, early ad-free access to videos, members-only live streams, members-only content. It's pretty cool, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Smash the like, smash subscribe. We'll catch you later. See you, bye.